So hello and welcome to a brand new episode of JoeScentMe. As you could tell by my background, I am not home. So I am with a special guest today. I'm actually having the honor of being at this person's house right now. We're in his studio.
No Nonsense Studios.
No NonScents Studios. And this is Garry right here. And,
hey everybody.
His channel is No NonScents. And I will include all the information down below so that you guys can make sure that you follow him there. And I'll also include his Instagram link as well so that you can follow him on there as well.
Awesome.
So today I wanted to do a video with my friend Garry here. And we're going to blind sniff a brand of perfumes that I've never ever experienced before. In fact, it will be our first time experiencing it together. And I wanted to just see what happens. And that brand, by the way, is called Eris Parfums, or Eris, depending on how you say it. Eris Parfums. And right now there's 4 in their collection, and they're all unisex. And we're going to go through each one of these individually. I've received 4 sample packs from them, and we're just going to see what we think.
Now, yeah, I've heard of the line. I have heard of Eris. Excuse me.
Yep.
But I have not sampled anything by the house.
Okay.
This is
This
intrigued.
would be cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to show you a little quick on the camera what we have here. These little sample cards happen to have a couple mil of fluid here, and it doesn't look like a sprayer, so we're gonna have to just.
Oh, they're dabbers.
They're dabbers.
Blotters.
So we're just gonna blot like a napkin or something. But they do have a little story in each one. So 3 of these, by the way, are part of a set. So Ma Bête, Nightflower, and Belle de Jour. Those 3 right here are part of the La Belle and La Bête collection, which is the Beauty and the Beast collection.
Cool.
So that's French for that. And so there's different parts of the Beauty and the Beast things. So one of them is Ma Bête, which is the Beast. And then Belle de Jour, so that's Belle. And then, of course, the Nightflower. And what could that Nightflower be in Beauty and the Beast? I don't know. And then the last one in this group, which is not part of this 3, which is not part of this trio, is this one right here, which is MX, which was designed to be a completely gender-neutral fragrance. So all of these are unisex, but this was the purpose of this one specifically was to be a very gender-neutral.
Just doesn't lean
Either way, and so we'll see what happens. Oh, and joining behind us,
I
in
just
cameo,
noticed that.
just wanted to introduce you to my friend here, Xavier, who is very happy to be with us, and wonderful cat. What a gentleman. So here we go. Let's start with MX, since that's kind of the most interesting one, and then we'll go on to this one. So we'll pull out the little blotter piece, or the little dabber piece, and then we'll have our fancy supplies of whatever. I don't know. We could pour out a little bit. Maybe that's enough, right?
That is plenty.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll waft it a little bit, because even though these are all eau de parfum, they are still.
Oh, I'm getting it in the air already.
You're getting a little alcohol in there. So
no, I'm getting the fragrance.
Let's see. I'll let you smell this, and I'll read a little bit about it. So blurs the boundaries between conventionality, masculine, and feminine perfumes. Notes to create a symphony of olfactory decadence. A sparkling mix of ginger, saffron, vetiver, and black pepper on a creamy bed of cedar and sandalwood, wrapped in rich notes of cacao, benzoin, and the animalic purr of castoreum. What are you getting from this?
Okay, right off the initial, my first smell, I don't get the castoreum note at all, which is...
It can be off-putting at some...
It can be. It's castoreum's like almost like an animalic leather type of vibe.
Yep.
And I'm not getting that. The opening, I am getting a blast of ginger.
Yeah.
And I get the cedar in there as well. This is really, really nice.
Yep, yeah, I definitely am getting the cedar in this as well. Ginger at the very top, of course, to brighten things up, because I noticed there are absolutely no citric accords in this whatsoever.
No.
So ginger is what they're putting at the top.
It's what's giving it. It's got a little bit not too bright of an opening.
What about the vetiver? Are you getting any vetiver? Because I know vetiver can be very grassy, can be...
What vetiver is in here? I'm not getting much of it. Not at the moment right now.
I'm not either. What about the cacao? Because that's the thing that really allured me to this scent. Do you think that could be probably in the dry down? Or
I would think the vetiver and the cacao are going to come out more in the dry down. Right now, to my nose, I'm getting...
It's faint.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a little bit of the cacao, which is kind of like a chocolatey thing. But it is very, very faint.
It's bright, but it's dry at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was MX.
I like it. And actually, even though it says, you were saying it's gender neutral.
Yes.
I actually find that this is, in my opinion, it definitely leans more toward a masculine fragrance.
Really? Okay. So here's what's interesting about that. I think that it'd be interesting to see what a lady wearing this,
yes,
what it would do to them, because of our body chemistries, different notes can pop on different people.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm wondering that, being that this is a gender neutral scent, whether this scent will pop differently on a lady, and will it smell more feminine on her?
It very well could. Sure.
More masculine on us.
I think this would make an excellent office scent.
I like it. It's
great,
very safe. Yeah. Really, really nice.
Scent, definitely daytime.
I like this a lot. I was actually very impressed by that, actually. So we're going to move on to the next thing, which is Ma Bête. Now, Ma Bête is the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. And I am immediately attracted to this because the first thing that I'm thinking about when I think of a beast is clearly it's going to be, my guess, I don't know the exact situation, but my guess is that it's probably going to be very, maybe animalic, maybe beastly. I don't know. So I'm going to waft this out a little bit, and you tell me what you think, and I'm going to read a little bit about it here while you do that. So when the Beast in Jean Cocteau's film La Belle et la Bête transforms into a handsome prince, Greta Garbo is said to have cried, "Give me back my beast." That's what Ma Bête means, which means my beast. So, what's in this? So, Ma Bête, my beast, caresses you with the suggestiveness of perfumed fur. Interesting. Combining Tunisian neroli and spices and a powerful animalic cocktail. And they don't say what this animalic cocktail is at all, but what do you think?
The animalic cocktail is definitely oud or agarwood. It definitely has an animalic vibe to it.
Okay.
It's not overly animalic, like it's not that stank barnyardy.
Yeah, well, I understand the barnyard.
It's nice.
Yes, this is really nice.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think there's oud, and I also think that it could be leather in this too.
Could be.
But the whole idea, the concept of the fur, the perfumed fur, the beast was a very furry creature. And I can kind of get that. The perfumed part of the perfumed fur has sort of a feminine part of it. That femininity, because that's kind of as if Belle had brushed up against the beast and a little bit of her perfume rubbed off on his fur. So I'm getting a little bit of Belle on the beast at the top there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Possibly rose? Possibly? They mentioned something.
There's
like
definitely a floral accord in here. I do pick up on some spices.
Yep. But we were just talking about neroli recently here while we were sniffing things around, and we both agree that we're not fans of neroli. But this one here, this Tunisian neroli, is not bothersome at all.
No, not at all.
I'm not getting...
And as far as neroli by itself, take a fragrance like Neroli Portofino, where neroli is the main player in that fragrance. Not that I find it off-putting. It's just not something that I like wearing or I enjoy wearing myself. But when neroli's blended with fragrances, blended with other notes.
Yes. Well, it's not the forefront of the fragrance.
Exactly. I do find it really, really enjoyable.
That
This
is
is really, really enjoyable.
I agree with you on this. 100%.
I would have no problem wearing this.
I love that, and that's really cool. And again, another great fragrance. So far, Eris, you guys, so far 2 for 2 have been amazing.
My wife would love this.
She'd love it. Okay.
She would love this.
So guess what? You get to keep all.
No,
these.
no, no,
yes,
no.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Just for being who you are.
This guy.
That guy. So
this is great. Great.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. That's awesome. So we're going to move on now to the next one called Belle de Jour. So Belle de Jour is, I think it's like beauty of the day. So kind of like soup de jour. Beauty of the day, I think, is what it is. So again, I have my preconceived notions. I have not read these cards before. I don't know anything about these fragrances. But when I think of something like Belle, I think of beauty. When I think of something like Jour, I think of day. So I'm thinking this may be a beautiful day scent, possibly.
I also have to come clean about something.
What?
Beauty and the Beast is actually my favorite Disney movie.
Okay.
Of all time.
The new one, right?
The cartoon.
The cartoon?
The one from a few years back. Not the new movie that
live action one?
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that.
I actually like that one.
But it was like 2 weeks ago. Me and my wife sat down and watched Beauty and the Beast again. Let's
see what you think of this while I read this here real quick. Belle de Jour keeps its eroticism under wraps, but just barely. Iridescent notes of orange flower and jasmine, accented with coriander swirl down to a sensuous base of incense, musk, and seaweed absolute. Wow. So, what are you getting off of this?
I'm picking up on the orange flower right off the top. It's actually pretty easy to pick out.
But is it bothersome like neroli?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Because
orange flower and neroli,
which is funny because the other note that doesn't by itself that doesn't play right with me is orange flower or orange blossom.
Yes.
Again, another fragrance that smells great. It's just that orange blossom or orange flower as the primary note. It leans way too feminine. Not that I have a problem wearing something that's feminine, but it's a little too one-sided for my taste. This is almost...
What do you think?
I think I would enjoy that on a woman more than I would...
Probably so.
More than I would probably wear that on myself.
And I agree on the orange flower. It is definitely up front.
And I do pick up on some jasmine. Mm-hmm. Not one of my favorite notes.
No, but I will say that this is not terrible either. And
not by any means. No.
And smelling it in this environment is not always the best because sometimes we have smelled stuff on paper and hated it. Smelled it on a person and loved it.
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh, well, what just changed?
Absolutely.
Well, our body chemistry changed.
Mm-hmm.
Paper doesn't smell like anything. But it still gives us enough of an idea. Mm-hmm. So that was Belle de Jour. And it was not my favorite. It seems very pleasant and enjoyable, but it's not my favorite. So that is Belle de Jour.
So far, Ma Bête is probably my favorite.
Yep, and MX is my second favorite.
Agreed.
Okay, so we're going to do the final one here, which is called Night Flower. And I just love the name already because I think of... I'm not a floral person at all.
Me either.
I'm not floral at all. But anything that involves the night could possibly be something that is extremely seductive and as Steven would say, enigmatic. Because God, I love it when he says the word enigmatic. This is got my attention. Here we go. Night Flower exhales its deepest scent in the moonlight. Leather and suede wrap around a neurotic Indian tuberose, drying down to a seductive, spicy blend of cardamom, cinnamon, tonka bean, and patchouli. Okay, you had me at tonka bean and patchouli and cardamom.
I pick up on the patchouli.
This is a tough one between Ma Bête and the Night Flower. Those two seem to be on the same level of my favorite, and then MX just under it. I love this scent.
I do pick up on the patchouli. The tuberose is in there. It's not overly floral by any means. Yep. And
it's gorgeous.
It's nice. It's really nice. The name of this one scared me.
Yeah, did it? Because you would thought flower, it's going to be
flower bomb,
floral.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not a fan of tuberose either, but Atelier Cologne's Cafe Tuberosa
I've smelt it.
is, what do you think?
It's a good fragrance. It wasn't my favorite. I know.
Okay.
Carlos love it. Steven loves it.
We're digressing a little bit. We're really focused. We should be focusing on Eris. But I want to tell you that I love that fragrance. This is yet another tuberose that is shocking me at how much I love. I love this thing. This is my... I would say I'd put my bet and this one right next to each other as my two favorites. And an MX just under it, but not by much.
I would put my bet in MX.
Yeah. So overall, this house has been quite impressive. We've not been really disappointed.
Really
nice. I mean,
really
nothing
nice.
really disappointing me.
No.
And it's a great house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include information about this house down in the notes below. So when you click on those, you can check it out. That way you can see where you could buy it and do all the fun stuff that you would normally do when you want to research the fragrance. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. And make sure you give it a thumbs up, and do make sure that you subscribe to my friend Gary's channel, which is No NonScents, and I'll include the links below for that. And then also, don't forget to hit that notification bell at the top so that you can continue to get great content from both of us.
Also, thanks for having me on your channel. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me in your house.
Anytime. My door's always open.
Alrighty, well, great. We'll take care, and thank you so much. And oh, don't forget to subscribe too. Forgot to mention that. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.